You're looking at Frostina, Bolitarian Battle Mage. She fears nothing, and kills everything. Right now, she believes that she's on a routine skeleton slaying mission in the Shrine of Storms. But what she's about to find out is that she is about to embark on a chilling detour through the Twilight Zone. Our story starts somewhere near the end of the last video. I only showed you the end result of the Black World Tendency run, but I cut this part out because I felt it would go better along with dealing with the rest of the level. When you first enter the second segment of the Shrine of Storms, normally there are storm beasts raining spears on you down there, even more so during Pure Black Tendency, but I guess I timed it right and came down here while they were all out on patrol. First thing we see is our good buddy Brave Rubber Blige, who's going to sell us some stuff.
Hello there. We meet again. You look terrible. Cheer up. Life is an adventure.
I can't help but imagine him as a member of Monty Python delivering that particular line. Anyways, we need some fresh spice and some half-moon grass. We're about to meet some enemies that are very resistant to physical damage, and if we don't have enough magic, specifically fire, although these guys are also very weak to magical attacks as well, like Soul Ray. But if we run out and we can't restore, there's a very good chance that we might get swarmed and die. And with the amount of souls that I'm carrying around right now, we don't particularly want that to happen.
He's the kind of person who'd stab his mother in the back. If you happen to spot him, you'll be doing us all a favor by putting him out of his misery.
Slowbeef's taken care of that for us already. So,
well done. Good day.
We'll take the peaceful alternative to deal with Patches when we see him. Moving on. Quick equipment check. We got all of our MP regeneration stuff. Got our Ring of Magical Sharpness, which is slightly dangerous because the upcoming enemies do have magic attacks. Alright. Off we go. And that is why they tell you never to step on pressure plates in ancient temples. You know, always animates Grim Reapers that summon armies of Shadow Men. Shadow Men are very weak to both fire and magic, but they're pretty strong against physical attacks. What we need to do, in order to get rid of all of them, is to make it down to the Reaper that summoned them and kill him. If we can kill him, all of the Shadow Men die, and we receive souls as if we actually killed them ourselves. The attacks of the Shadow Men are actually very slow, but if they group together, they can start a bunch of attacks at once, leaving it very difficult for you to either try to block them, which would take up quite a bit of stamina, or you'll just get hit and beat down and killed, which is vastly unpleasant. The easiest thing to do is take the left path over here, because only one Shadow Man tries to cross it, whereas two try to cross the right bridge. We want to clear out this stairwell as quickly as we can, because the Reaper isn't stuck with just the Shadow Men he started with at the beginning. He is constantly spawning them the longer we take to get to him. And you can tell whenever he spawns a new one because it makes a very distinct noise. He also likes to spawn them behind you or right on top of you. Like so. Fortunately, even if he is going to keep spawning them behind us, all we have to do is move forward quicker than they can get to us, because they are pretty slow. And just in case, I'm going to top off the whole MP, because it would really suck to run out partway through fighting the Reaper. Now he's got 2 guards with him, but they are lined up in such a way... There they are. They are lined up in such a way that I can hit one Shadow Man and the Reaper at the same time with my Soul Ray. Now, while the Shadow Men are very weak to Soul Ray, the Reaper is not. Fortunately, he is weak to fire. Very weak. And with the Ring of Magical Sharpness, my magic defense was low enough to be instantly killed. Now, there's actually a really easy way to deal with this that involves essentially no risk whatsoever, as long as we clear out the Shadow Men up here. Just be careful. Let's go ahead and take out this guy too. Oh, and maybe the guy behind him. I have no idea how they wound up so close together. Alright. With that out of the way, let's take a look. Oh wait, we can target him from right up here, and he's hideously weak to fire. Looks like yet another challenge defeated by sniping. If you don't have magic, you can also do that same strategy with a bow, making this easily the best place to farm for souls, with the possible exception of the final segment of the level. The Reapers will always respawn every time you die, so if you need to level up, this is where you go. Now, let's meet our new best friend. Oh look, he has the same shield that we do. I kinda want to smash him over the head with it.
Oh, the demons haven't got to you, have they? Well, I'm in luck. You see that pit? It's filled with treasure. But, I can't get to it myself. Go on, have a look. It's more riches than I've ever dreamed of. That's it. That pit just there. Go on, get a little closer.
Only the most naive of children would not comprehend what's about to happen here. However, we must, if we want to continue on.
Don't hold it against me, eh? Take your time, starving to death. Then I'll sell every last trinket off your corpse.
Well, I guess we don't technically need to do this to progress, but we do need it if we ever want to get miracles for the rest of the game, since it turns out that I chased off the previous miracle vendor, and he won't return until we rescue Saint Urbane.
Heavens! Did you fall for that little devil's trap? Well, I did the same. He fooled me, and now I am stuck here. The reverberations seem to suggest that we are connected to the outside. But dark, fearsome souls stand between us and freedom. But have no fear. God will cleanse us of evil. Pray with me. Umbasa.
You heard it here first. Dark Soul stands between us and freedom. So I'm going to go ahead and pause the game and go beat Dark Soul so we can get out of here. Or rather, this particular Dark Soul. This is a Black Phantom Samurai. I'm just going to cast Poison Cloud on him and wait him out, actually. Poison Cloud is not read by the computer as an offensive action, so this guy has no idea he's under attack. And about 3 minutes later, he'll be dead. No, I'm not. Yeah, I'm not gonna make you wait and watch all that. That's just crazy. But the poison's about to run out, and I guess 900 damage isn't enough to kill him, so I'll help. Simple. Now, the treasure you see up on that small stalagmite, the way to get that down is to get this place up to pure white world tendency. And after killing both the primeval demon and Black Phantom Satsuki, we're one step away from it.
God has chosen you, and for that we are thankful, Umbas.
We'll be able to get that treasure after defeating the boss of this area, returning to the Nexus, and then coming back. But that's for another day. Right now, we need to go give Patches a piece of our mind.
You. Hey, look, I'm really sorry. I didn't mean what I said. Well, I mean, a man's got to make a living, right? Here, look. I can make up for it. There aren't many humans like us. We need to stick together. I know. Here, take this as a token of my friendship. You've seen one of these before, surely.
I don't consider that to be enough, but he will return to the Nexus and become a vendor. Cash resistance increases our resistance to bleeding, which isn't as big of a deal in this game as it is in Dark Souls, where being hit by bleed damage is nearly always fatal. Unless you've got, 3,000 HP, and all of that other nonsense that you see if you're doing Cat Covenant invasions. Anyways. These are all dead storm beasts that we're walking on. That's pretty cool. And our next challenge is more skeletons and trying not to get shot by storm beasts. And I forgot that I didn't have my shield equipped, so all of that went splendidly. Alright. Trying that again. This time I have the Thieves' Ring on, so the storm beasts shouldn't give me trouble. But apparently stationary wooden poles do. And so do rolling skeletons. It's just... Let's just heal really fast before anybody else realizes that I'm here. Okay. Moving on. This guy is a little tricky to lock onto. For some reason, a lot of times when he ducks down, especially after he's been hit, he just kind of falls out of your range. It's kind of bizarre. And also, if you're not wearing the Thieves' Ring, attacking the archer will trigger this guy. Of course, being dead also triggers this guy to flop around like a psychomaniac. I don't know what he's doing there, but it's pretty funny. Come on, get out. Out of my face. Literally, he was kind of phasing through my face. It was a little gross. And of course, there would be these guys. But, let's see if you can poison them. It's looking like no. Either they have an extremely high resistance to it, and I couldn't keep them in the cloud for long enough, or it turns out you just can't poison a skeleton. I would not be shocked if it is the latter. I mean, you can't make a skeleton bleed, it hasn't got any blood. So I guess it follows that you can't, inject poison into its veins because it hasn't got any. Unfortunate. However, the skeletons have a very primal brain, and they can be fooled by soul remains. So let's take a look at how that particular item interacts with the skeletons. But first, let's abuse their AI a little bit. Or rather, using the soul remains is abusing their AI. What the soul remains do is give the skeletons a target to attack. And they will attack it very vigorously until they run out. It's pretty cool. You can also use it on the storm beasts. Although, the more effective strategy with them is just to hide using the Thieves' Ring. There's nothing worse than having the soul remains run out while you're not looking and then catching a spear in the back. I know because I did it a few times and dropped takes. Moving on, it's time to take on our second Reaper and Shadow Man challenge. This time, the Reaper is rather well hidden. And we'll have to go through a number of Shadow Men that have a new power in order to get to him. And if you're wondering why I'm being extra cautious, it's because once the Shadow Men unleash their new power, you basically have to get out of the room to avoid it. Because it's a sweeping death laser. That's a magical attack, which means if I don't shield it, I will die. Fortunately, if you can get far enough away and trigger it, sometimes the beam will go too high. So if I start over here and trigger the beam, so there it is. See how he just shot over me completely? I think that's from the game trying to anticipate where I will be after dodging. But I could be wrong, and it might have just had a technical brain fart. I don't know. That is probably not the best strategy for avoiding the beams, though. The best strategy I found, which I'll demonstrate later, is to just run straight up to the Shadow Man and try to get around it. They are positioned on the stairway so that is nearly impossible, but it is still, I think, the best plan. Because then, even as the beam gets to you, you can at least try to roll and avoid it, whereas from a farther distance away, the beam will take up more of your potential dodging area. Also, these Shadow Men are just flat out stronger than the other ones. I'm not sure where they get off doing that. Just a quick demonstration of how much it hurts getting hit by them, even not by their laser beams. Alright, so the Reaper should be around here somewhere. But of course they're going to spawn another Shadow Man right there. Another thing to be careful about over here is if you hear laughter, that's bad. That means there is somebody else, another Shadow Lurker, waiting to kill you. So listen close for any laughter. And backstabbed.